Hey, welcome back to the Crypto Factor. My name is Paul, and today we're talking to Adrianna Mendez. She's the CEO of CypherGlass. We're going to talk about CypherGlass. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to have some fun. Let me start by welcoming you, Adrianna. Thanks so much for doing this.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Really glad to come on and talk about CypherGlass and share some thoughts around Bitcoin. So ready for you to fire away and get started.
So you have been in crypto for what, 5 years? I think you've been in the space. Yes. I want to ask, how did you get into the space? But you know what, Adrianna, before that, let me start with you. What were you like as a person before crypto? As a matter of fact, if I met you in high school, what would you be like? What would I think of you?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, actually. High school was a good time for me. I was a pretty regular student. I was in cheerleading, played softball, had friends. Never in a million years thought I'd be interested in economics or governance or cryptocurrency. I didn't even hear about cryptocurrency for the first time until maybe 2014 when I was, working my cubicle job and, shout out to the cubicle jobs, but, it was one of those 9 to 5 situations. And I had this other guy in my office who wouldn't shut up about Bitcoin, just wouldn't stop. And so finally I broke down in late 2014 and started buying small pieces of Bitcoin.
Right. So you started getting into that, and then when did you actually transition into Bitcoin? Like, I'm pretty sure you had like a bridge where you were working but also doing Bitcoin at the same time, or was it just just leave everything, let's go for it sort
Yeah.
of thing?
No, I mean, like anything, especially crypto, it's a rabbit hole and you kind of start by looking in and eventually you dive in. I was always into marketing and kind of soft skill set. My background, I went to UTSA, have a psychology degree, was kind of more interested in consumer psychology, and went on to get my master's in that and thought I would be moving on to maybe like a PR firm or an advertising firm of some sort. And, this is during the 2016 election, and everything's going crazy, and my friends are all fighting and want to kill each other, and I didn't like it. I was
Did you know
really
Trump would win?
I didn't know who would win. And in fact, if we're talking about who I was prior to crypto, I was a Democrat. I was a pretty staunch Democrat. I grew up in a Democrat household, was kind of taught those ideals, and then in the 2016 election really began to question those ideals. And, along with Bitcoin comes this more anarchist, libertarian mindset. And that's when the rabbit hole really took off for me. It was about 2016 when me and my best friend decided to put together a cryptocurrency starter kit. It was called the Bitcoin Beginner Box. And, we just
Nice.
wanted to teach people like, hey, there's this other tool out there, because we both viewed it as much more of a sovereignty tool than like a speculation asset or a gambling asset. We were really in it to try to take money out of the government's pocket and put it into our own pocket, is how we kind of saw Bitcoin.
Pretty
And then
much marketing and capitalism itself.
yeah, I mean, it really just made sense. I mean, that's at the end of the day, Bitcoin to me just made a lot of sense, especially with like the impending like government shutdown back then. That was a huge
Yeah.
thing, and the 2008 bubble pop, and you had all of these investors kind of going, man, the Federal Reserve might be total crap. And so that's when I started to question that. Lo and behold, started volunteering on anything I could get my hands on. And it was Nathan Wozniak at Ubiquity who gave me my first chance on a team. He kind of brought me in to do some lightweight marketing and help with them. We did a couple of conferences, and I really felt like I found my groove. Like that was what I wanted to do. So I pointed my skill set directly at the market and just started collecting small contracts, small jobs here and there. Early 2018, I get a call from a headhunter, and they're saying, hey, we have this job. This guy wants to start an EOS block producer. And I have
Mhm.
really no clue what that is at the time. Start reading up on it, was really interested in EOS. I, had seen the consensus talk and was really excited by Dan Larimer and Brendan Bloomer. So I get on this call with this kid, and his name's Rob Finch, and he's like, hey, I have this really cool idea. Will you jump in with me? And that's when it happened. I kind of jumped on board with him and started an EOS block producer, which is basically what a miner is to the Bitcoin network. That's what a block producer is,
Awesome.
the EOS network. Yeah.
Awesome. And so how many years has that been going on, Adrianna?
A long time. This transition started for me in 2015 when I started volunteering on stuff. By 2016, I had completely left my other job and was doing cryptocurrency marketing full time. In 2018, I started as the community manager of CypherGlass, and then in earlier this year, the beginning of 2020, I took over CypherGlass as the CEO.
Awesome. We're going to talk more about CypherGlass in a second. I want to know a little bit more about you. Because you were a very success-driven person. I can see that. You're a marketer. You're into marketing. I'm a marketing guy. You're a marketing girl. So I really want to know about you. Okay, first of all, do you have any morning habits, any daily habits or morning rituals? Hey, Paul here. Let me jump in real quick. If you're getting value so far from watching this video, then please consider subscribing down below and hitting that bell notification button. It will help me and you get to watch more videos like this one. Thank you, and let's jump back into the video.
Yes. Yeah. I wake up every day pretty much at the same time. My friends, I think they worry about me. I'm a workaholic. I truly am. I'm very dedicated to my work. But it's because it's honestly my love. It's the love of my life. I really pour myself into it. So in the morning I wake up, I do some meditation, I do some breathing, I sit down and I start reading. I feel like when I first wake up, my brain is ready to consume stuff and really process it. So I immediately sit down, start going through Reddit subforums, start hitting Twitter, start hitting, all the decentralized forums. Voice.com, which is an EOS product, and also a way to put content up there. And I'm just digesting. I'm just thinking about what I want to accomplish in that day. And then usually, I'm using something like Panda Planner or, my Google Calendar to make sure that I'm setting goals properly and just staying goal oriented, because I think naturally in tech, we all have a lot of ideas, and they're great ideas. But if you can't execute on them and you can't learn how to do that quickly and efficiently, you're going to fall behind. And that's what I had to quickly learn how to adapt to get here. I feel like it was a steep learning curve.
Yeah, execution of ideas are important. Everyone thinks it's we just need an idea. If I just had the idea, I have this idea. Ideas don't really, people don't care about ideas. They care about execution of ideas. As a matter of fact, it's easier if you just copy something that works, if you want to make money in life, right? Let me ask something else. What's it like being a woman in crypto? Because I hear, and I'm Greek, so I don't have any political correctness. I'm going to ask you straight out. I see a bunch of people talking about, it's so hard to be a woman in crypto and on this and that. And then we have another group saying, we want more people, women in crypto. And it's like a big thing. Suddenly it's like a reward to be a woman in crypto. And I need to know your take on this. Because I don't see a difference. I really don't. Whether it's a woman, a guy, a boy.
Yeah, I have a pretty solid stance on this, and I've stood on it for quite some time. I'm a person in crypto. I'm a person in crypto, and I happen to be a woman. I happen to have the insights and perspectives of a woman, which are definitely different than men, definitely different than other people that aren't my subset of minority applications. Everyone's a minority in some way, right? So for me, it's just, I'm a collection of unique perspectives, and I do have insight into what it's like being a woman in crypto. But I think anything else is just like anything else, it's what you make it. And personally, I've dealt with douchebags and I've dealt with great guys. I've dealt with complete horrendous women, and I've dealt with absolute awesome women in this space. It really is just people, and it's what you make it. And I find that the people who don't blame their unique subsets of perspectives for their failures tend to get ahead and stay ahead in this space. So for me, I've really never taken it as anything more than a challenge to maybe help break up the diversity, because that's a good thing. But I want to make sure that the women we're injecting into the space have a mindset of, we really are all equal, we all matter equally, and I'm not going to ask for any special treatment just because I happen to be a minority in the space.
I would say you have a lot of pluses as well, a lot of minuses, a lot of pluses. Everyone brings something to the table. Who are your favorite YouTubers or influencers in crypto? Give me 3 top men, give me 3 top women.
Yeah, 3 top men. First is Omar Bon, crypto news. He has been in this game so long. I'm kind of happy to have come up with him, and I think that he is so loyal and has great integrity, and really tries in his content. Like, I'm a subscriber to his content. I pay for his content because I want to see Omar keep going. Sean Cunningham is another person that I follow on YouTube, and he's really unknown.
Hmm.
And then another male YouTuber. I actually really appreciate Sean Herbert, who's really unknown. He works with Ken Bosnick, and he does a lot of crypto memes. And I'd say follow him if you want to take a lighter approach to this. And if I'm going to throw in one more guy, Rory Murray from Forbes Writing. He's amazing when it comes to like lighthearted technical stuff.
Got you. What
Um,
about women in crypto?
Wendy O is my favorite when it comes to technical trading analysis and token analysis. She does a good job of getting in front of founders' faces and making them accountable for their token.
Hmm.
Girl Gone Crypto, we've done a ton of partnerships with her, media partnerships, and she's just an absolute joy to work with. And,
I just
I'm
interviewed
getting,
her. She's really cool. I've met her
she's
before because she's interviewed me on her channel as well, but I've interviewed her too. She's really cool.
She's great. Yeah. And another female, I'm going to give a shout out to Crypto Finally, because I think Rachel has done a good job navigating the cultural aspects of crypto and all that comes with it. I think she does a good job of being herself and not caring what other people think, which is something this world could use more of.
What do you think of NFTs, and would you ever get into them?
I'm already in NFTs.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, NFTs are awesome. They are the future. I think more speculation will happen on NFT markets in the future than
On
ICO.
on a marketing point of view, yes, I can totally agree with you. I want to jump in it on myself. I'm not talking about taking pictures of myself. I'm talking about jumping into the actual thing.
I think if you're,
To each his own.
I think, but like
I'll take
giving,
pictures of my puppy. I have a puppy. I'll take pictures of him.
I love it because people are like, oh, these NFT selfies are awful. But I'm thinking, man, they just made a huge application use for
Yeah,
OnlyFans to go on to NFTs. Just saying, I mean, huge application.
when I first saw, I think it was Crypto Finally, right? That took the picture. When I first saw this, I'm like, oh my God, this is so stupid. I'm being very honest with you, okay?
Of course.
And I still think it's stupid, but there's a difference. There's a difference. I started to appreciate what she did and how, I don't know if she realized it or not. I'd love to interview her, by the way. But I really appreciate what she did and how people discovered them. And I started understanding them a little bit better, because with all the talks and the debates and all this, first of all, it became a known thing. Second of all, she became known, which as a marketer, I think that's awesome. And third of all, it's the debate itself made more people look into it. So I have to give that to her. So whether I agree with her or not, I think I'd probably do the same.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I just think that if you're in crypto, to not believe that assigned value is real value, like if you think intrinsic value is built on this idea that you can use it or what utility is, you probably shouldn't be in crypto to begin with. Something is worth what the free market determines it's worth, and somebody wanted to pay that much ether for Rachel's selfies, so I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
I just don't care that much to say, oh, this is dumb and you're sullying our market, when all she's doing is creating liquidity in it.
No, it was a very good idea, and it actually made me think of other marketing strategies as well, along those lines, not those lines exactly, but I really respect that. That
Yeah.
that said, you mentioned before, you mentioned friends and family. Well, you mentioned your friends that they don't understand you because you're a workaholic. What kind of support do you have your friends, and what kind of support do you have from your family?
Yeah, I'm really lucky. I have 2 families. I have a chosen family and I have my real family. And my real family is super supportive of this. I'm first
If you say
generation.
crypto Twitter, this interview's over. I have my real family, I have my
They're
other
on,
family. My actual
they're
family is crypto Twitter.
They're on crypto Twitter, but most of
All
the
right.
people that I engage with on crypto Twitter, I've had the pleasure of meeting in real life and partying with in real life.
Oh,
And
that was your actual other family? That's what you were gonna say?
no, no, no,
Oh,
no. I
okay,
mean,
okay, okay.
I have my chosen family, but they're in there. You know, crypto
Got you,
Twitter
got you.
is my chosen family because that's what I wake up to every day. Like that's
Yeah,
somewhere I go and I bullshit and I talk about what I'm doing and I get snaps and kudos and give them. That's so important in a community. But beyond that, I have, you know, my best friends who came from the crypto community, and they're all over the world because I had the pleasure of traveling all over the world to do this job. And then there's my real family
yeah,
who are all, you know, traditional Hispanics and are awesome people. You know, I have a family full of educators, so I think for them, you know, watching me kind of do this and follow in an education footstep of something so new and forward thinking, they're really excited. They definitely thought I was crazy for about 2 years. And then it started to kind of turn over and they saw what was happening. And you know, I have an aunt who is a governance and economics teacher for 20 years. She retired from it. And her and I have just gone toe to toe sometimes over crypto and Bitcoin and the Fed. And it's great to see her start to come around and
yeah.
start to appreciate it and start to understand it. So for me, it feels like I'm going in the right direction. And, you know, I'm a little bit of a rebel heart, and I get it from my grandfather, who was a CPA, or actually he wasn't a CPA, it was a tax prep office. He had it in our home, and
Mm-hmm.
he kind of specialized in one thing, which was helping undocumented immigrants claim income tax back from the government. Because what most people don't know is that undocumented immigrants who are working pay into the system and never get anything out of it.
Mm.
So he was kind of helping people get their green cards, get resident status, but at the same time, get some of their money back from the government. So, you know, say what you will, but I think that's where I got my little bit of a rebellious streak from.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's talk about your friends a little bit more. They say if you hang out with 5 successful people, you'll become the sixth. If you hang out with 5 millionaires, you'll be the sixth. If you hang out with 5 drug addicts, you'll be the sixth. What are your close friends like? Your 5 closest friends, because you're probably the average of that.
Hmm.
Let me know about that.
It's my team. It's my CypherGlass team. You know, the two people I've talked to the most are Ross and James, who are my infrastructure team, who are both, you know, cloud design infrastructure OGs. They've been in Amazon and CenturyLink and helped design blockchain patents, and you know, they're way ahead of me. But they've really taken time to this company and this startup because they see a lot of potential in me and a lot of potential in EOSIO. So I've learned from them, and I think because of them, you know, I'm a more responsible business owner. I'm a better rounded person. You know, these are both people who have, you know, completed major goals in their life. So they're pushing me to do the same. You know, Rob Finch, who originally started the company and exited the company, was someone who I've taken tons of advice from and really learned a lot from, just because he really walks the walk. You know, he's very disciplined and very diligent about his time and where he puts his effort, and that's what I've learned to do. And then I, you know, have my 2 best friends that I actually live with because I'm a digital nomad and I'm usually on the road. But I got caught here in Texas while COVID happened. And Alex is the person who actually taught me about Bitcoin. You know, he still deals in the space, but he's definitely a hobbyist. And then his partner, Christy, who's my, you know, girl best friend and is my source of sanity when I don't want to talk about crypto. So those are like,
So you're
those are,
set
in
up for success.
general, yeah, those are all people who are goal oriented, family oriented, you know, love driven and positive driven. So for me, like, that's what I surround myself with, and I could not do it without them. I mean, I know they think I'm crazy, but I also know they believe in me.
Nice. I'm going to ask you a few more questions, then we're going to talk about CypherGlass. I want to ask you about your hobbies. What hobbies do you have? What do you do every day?
I read. I read religiously. You know, I go through about 2 books a week, and they're usually,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
almost Tai Lopez stuff right there.
it it keeps your brain going.
It does,
And
yeah.
especially right now where we can't go do a whole lot and I can't travel, reading's been my solace.
Fiction or nonfiction?
Nonfiction is my favorite.
Nonfiction.
I do a lot of history, a lot of self-help, a lot of political science. Robert Greene is my favorite author,
Yeah,
and
I love
he's
Robert Greene.
48 Laws of Power is the Bible as far as I'm concerned. And if you are a business owner or a leader or looking to get ahead, that's the book you need to read. You know, and the other thing that I do is I rest. Like I take time to relax. I went to the beach this weekend with friends and camped. I go get a massage. I really take time to get away from my computer because I do spend 14 hours in front of it most days. So that's, you know, for me, it's just a cycle of work, recover, work, recover. And that's startup life.
3 favorite books that people should read right now.
Right now, because I just read this one and it's so critical to the thinking we have politically and as a country. America, the Farewell Tour is something I think everybody needs to read right now. It's a very good account of how the hell we got here. It doesn't talk about sides. It doesn't talk about who's right. It's just an account of how we got here, and maybe how we could possibly get out. The Four Agreements is another book that I recommend every human read. I'm not sure of the writer's name. I think it's Ruiz. But it is 4 principles that I think every human can really live by and would make a huge difference in your life. And then the most recent blockchain book I read that I thought would be good for beginners is called Bitcoin Pizza. It's by Sam Rad, and she's been in the community for a long time, and she's a self-made woman. You know, self-taught C++ stuff, self-taught businesswoman, self-taught everything. And she wrote a fantastic breakdown of what Bitcoin is and why it's valuable. So that's the third one.
Perfect. Okay. Now, for the people on crypto Twitter watching this, you're gonna have a lot of people that follow you watching this. A lot of people are gonna be cool about it. A lot of people want to come and see you, you know, catch you on something bad or whatever. What advice do you give them now? Give me some general advice, because I have a feeling it's going to be about success though.
Don't quit. that's I've thought a lot about it, and it's
More memes.
Don't quit. No, just don't quit. Like if you have a passion for this industry, like just keep going. That's my honest advice to you. Just keep trying to point your skill set in any direction that's crypto, and you'll probably find a home in it. You know, like if you're driven enough, I promise you'll get somewhere in this space. But you know, honesty and integrity and all of those qualities are so important along that journey. But you know, crypto Twitter and crypto in general is full of a lot of degenerate gamblers, but we're really smart. We're all really smart, and because of that, I think it takes someone who can come in and has tough skin and can really roll with the punches and not be afraid to take a loss and not be afraid of your failures, because we all have them and they're big. And you know, I can give it to you in dollars if you want how much money I've lost in crypto, but you know, you learn the lessons and you go forward.
Not as much as I lost gambling. How do you handle failure?
The honest answer to this is failure is very difficult for me, and it comes in many shapes and forms. I have a very set idea of what I want, what success is, and when I fail, I take it almost very personally, and for about a 24-hour period, I'm pretty not pleasant to be around. And then from there,
that's the Spanish in you, though.
It is.
Like,
I want to throw a chocolate at someone.
Spanish Tourette's comes out and everything, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So for about a day, I'm just upset. But honestly, from there, I get passionate about going further and doing it harder and better. Like it just really fuels me to move on to the next thing. And it comes unexpectedly. I always fail when I think I've got it. Which is always the most humbling experience. And humility is important through failure. So you know, the combination of just getting angry and then humbling yourself to try harder, it works.
Okay, Adrianna, what is the one question you wish people asked you, but they seldom do?
Oh, I wish people would ask why did you leave USD? Why did you really decide to break away from the system? Because that's not something I hear all the time, and it's something I'm very proud of doing. And I don't think other people view it that way quite yet. So I do wish people would ask for that advice, like, hey, how did you really break away from the system? Because it's not easy. It's very difficult, and it's a difficult road for everyone and different. So the more we can all share those roads of how we broke away from these these slavery systems of taxation, and really minimizing our exposure to that, what it can really do for you, and how it can broaden your horizons and take your mindset out of a box.
Perfect. So why and how?
You do it by changing your money. Honestly, I think everything boils down to the economics of things, and our money is very divisive. USD is built on war, and it's built on political destruction, and it's not a great money. So me switching the majority of my value over to currencies that seamlessly cross border, I mean, I don't know how seamless, but will be seamless to cross borders, it changes your mindset. It's allowed me to travel and not care so much, and take my mind out of American politics that much more, to really see 10 years ahead versus tomorrow.
So yeah, but you still obviously use currencies. You're just talking about when you go
Mhm.
to a different country, you change it to that currency. Okay,
Transferwise is a great tool for that.
but I was gonna say, what's the difference between, and for people watching this, because I like doing a lot of counters. What's the difference between that and Revolut? Because if you get something like Revolut, you're changing your currency anyway. Why crypto?
Crypto to me is just something you own. It is the difference between
Yeah.
actually owning something and not. Everything's digital now, and I think people forget that. It's not about the physical money. Everything's a digital number on some ledger, but the ledger is owned by someone else. In cryptocurrency, the ledger is owned by the public, and therefore
Yeah.
you own a share of that. And I would rather trust a community whole than a centralized system. So for me, it was just that simple, really owning my money.
You know, I have two friends, and I think it was quite recently. There was the crisis, and the Cypriot banks, they took half their money. One of my friends lost 8 million, the other one 16. That's insane amounts of money.
And it's just gone. And the way they justify it is that, oh, everybody got cut, so everything's equal again, which is not at all true. They just stole from your savings
No,
account.
they stole the money. That was it. They
That's
stole
it.
the money, and it was
Um,
never justified. It was complete theft.
it's why Andreas Antonopoulos is on a crusade,
Yeah,
because Greece stole so much money from their people, and his own mother had to
yeah,
use Bitcoin to survive, to make it through. So, people who have to use Bitcoin as a sovereignty tool really get it. In America, we're pretty spoiled
yeah.
with all different kinds of payment options. In Bosnia and in other parts of the world, they don't have that. And crypto is actually highly valuable. And Bitcoin ATMs are a regular thing.
Yeah. I can relate to Antonopoulos, by the way. I've met him as well, and same. It is like that in Greece. We went through a lot. So let me talk. Let's talk about CypherGlass. What is CypherGlass? And
So,
before you even start, why should people listen to you on this?
yeah, so people should listen to what CypherGlass is, because I think there's going to be a lot of upcoming changes to the way the Ethereum network is run, and it's going to involve EOS. And so CypherGlass is a node operator on the EOS IO network, and really at the forefront of educating people on how it benefits their projects, and how
Hmm.
it benefits companies and people. So, people should care, because I think that the technology that EOS is built on is going to be very important to the DeFi and interoperability movement coming up.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So what is CypherGlass exactly? What does it do?
So we are a node operator, essentially a miner, if you will, for EOS IO networks. EOS IO is a software that Block One built. That's what the ICO was raised for, and they, provide all this maintenance to that hard code. We run that and maintain all these different EOS IO networks like Wax, Telos. There's EOS now, which is Ultra, and a whole bunch of them are starting to kind of pop up and come out. And it's based on a really awesome resource model that creates almost a feeless or transactionless experience for the user. So developers really reap the benefits of that in the areas of not having to pay for gas.
Okay.
Very clogged with gas right now.
So here's my question now, okay? Because I'm not very technical, and a lot of people are not very technical. So I'm going to ask this: can people get involved with this? That's my first question.
Yeah, how you get involved with this is owning EOS. I mean, that's how you get involved with our project. You know, you can go to our YouTube page to learn way more about EOS, which is going to help, you know, you figure out where you belong in this community. There's all kinds of dApps, there's all kinds of games, but there's also really great DeFi projects going on that I think people would be really interested in. And because there's just low cost to transacting, you don't have gas fees the way you do on something like Uniswap. So like a DeFi product on EOS right now is DeFi Box, and they have their own token, and you can, you know, use it to trade. And there's great returns from stuff like that, but it's just not, it's not out there yet. I think Ethereum still has such a grasp on the market. So if you're looking to kind of get involved with our project and get involved with EOS, start researching EOS.io projects and seeing how seamless they work in comparison to other networks that cost gas to transact on.
Got you. Can people actually benefit financially from your project? Can they buy tokens in it or something like that? And just full disclaimer, by the way, this is not sponsored. I'm not taking any bags of any tokens or anything like that, unfortunately. But what I'm saying is this is not sponsored or anything like that. This is legitimately just a discussion on why people should get involved or if they should get involved. So
yeah. So yes, I mean, if you want to get into EOS and you want to earn passive income on it, you can look at things like Vigor. Vigor is a lending platform that you know, you can lease and borrow and loan. It's got some pretty great returns right now. So that's one way to get involved and make some money. There's a bunch of, you know, gambling apps on this as well. But EOS in general is just a community, just like Ethereum, that's building. And if you're a developer and you're tired of Solidity and trying to compile Solidity, you can come over to EOS and it's a little bit easier on C++. So there's developer advantages to this network, and it is highly technical. But the everyday token holder should be looking at the dApp network or, you know, things like that.
True, but can somebody, I understand, but can someone get involved with CypherGlass somehow? Can they invest in actual CypherGlass?
Yeah, so no, the answer is no. That's really cool about my company is I'm loyal to an algorithm. I make my money from algorithms, just like miners do. I set up infrastructure with my team. I upload the software to that. I connect to the network, and I offer my services as a block producer to the networks to transact blocks. That network has an algorithm that pays me as a block producer. So I actually we don't make any of our money or any of our crypto from investors. We just ask that they support the networks that we're on, like Wax, Telos, and EOS. So if you want to help me, if you want to help CypherGlass, go use EOS apps, go try out the lending, go take a look at our ecosystem, build on it, because it's a whole new ecosystem that I promise is going to completely change the game of how we look at you know, network resources and what a public blockchain can really do.
So how do you guys make money? How does CypherGlass make money?
So we're standbys, we're node operators. So like, okay, a Bitcoin miner processes a block, they earn Bitcoin. CypherGlass processes a block, I earn EOS, or I earn Telos, or
Gotcha.
I earn Wax. We do the same thing that miners do, just based on a different algorithm on different networks.
Can anyone do this?
Yes and no. Yes, anybody can voluntarily go set this up. No, not anybody is going to be able to do it because it takes the knowledge and willpower to be able to do this. It's slightly political. You have to know how to get the votes, because EOS is based on a democratic voting system called DPoS, Delegated Proof of Stake, which means only the top 21 block producers who have the most EOS votes from the token holders are going to be allowed to process blocks and get paid by the network. So it's a consistent election, and it's a consistent democratic process that is very difficult to keep up with and has lost me a lot of sleep in 3 years.
Got you. How do you market this, or do you not need to market this at all?
So our other side, the other way we offer our services to, make money and do other things is to help other people set up private networks built on the same technology. So I have a team of cloud infrastructure experts who can design or even help maintain that infrastructure for other projects. So if you're launching a network, if you're private or public, we kind of specialize in knowing how to do that. And we get a lot of requests from DApps who are looking to help scale their projects and build on this technology. So we do a lot of consulting work as well.
All right, that's awesome. Is there anything else you would like to add that you want people to know before I ask you a couple more questions? Then we're going to go into a lightning round.
Sure, no problem. If you're looking to learn more about EOS, me, or CypherGlass, please head over to our Twitter at CypherGlassBP. That's where we keep everything updated. There's also a ton of resources on our YouTube and on our website. And if you are looking to launch a DApp or a project on EOS.io, you can hit us up at info@cypherglass.com.
All right. So I'll leave the links, obviously. Well, it'll be on the screen as well throughout, how they can find and reach out to you. So this is the first time I'm going to do this. It just came to me, by the way. It's called a lightning round, where I just say a name and you just answer the first thing that comes in your head, and we might take it from there. I actually got this from Patrick Bet-David, Valuetainment, the channel. I'm actually a big fan. So tell me when you're ready and we can start.
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready? You sure? Oh, wait, let me get one more. Okay. Ivan on tech.
Scam.
Sorry?
Scam.
Okay.
I love Ivan, but I think he needs to take more responsibility and ownership over his content.
Yeah, he's actually very good in sales and marketing, though. I have to give him that. Everything is just perfect. Yeah. Antonopoulos.
Bitcoin Jesus.
Bitcoin Jesus. Okay. Roger Ver.
Bitcoin Judas.
Bitcoin Judas. Craig Wright.
Crazy. Out of his mind. He's not there.
Trump.
Disaster.
Biden.
Disaster.
Crypto.
The future.
Bitcoin.
King.
Decentralization.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Tone Vase.
Lost.
John. John McAfee.
Hi.
Adrianna, thank you so much. This was so much fun. I really appreciate it. I do hope I can get you on the channel again. I would love to continue and have more talks with you and everything. And yeah, I'll leave links down below. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was a real pleasure. This was awesome and fun time. Have a good one.
Thank you guys for watching as well, and I'll see you next time. Keep succeeding.